And so, it was really less than 18 months ago that we announced the partnership with HCL. And we had high hopes for the partnership, but we knew that we had a lot of work to do. There were a few things that we knew. We knew that HCL would own the development of Domino and Notes and Verse and Same Time. We knew that IBM would own the strategy and go to market around that. We knew that Domino really had staying power. But we also knew, as you saw in the video, that it had been neglected. And people were starting to lose faith in it. So we knew we had a lot of work to do. As we went through that, there were also some things that we knew about building that relationship. We knew that the most important partnership that we had to build was not between HCL and IBM, but it was with you. It was really rebuilding that strategic partnership with the community. But the thing that we didn't know was really the power and the energy that you would bring the velocity and the veracity that you brought back at the Domino version 10. The energy that you put into it and the response that you brought to it enabled us to have really a launch for the record books. As we went through that year, and we talked about the 22 Domino jams that kicked it off and the feedback. We asked you for your feedback, and you didn't hold back. We got comments in email and on social media and in person as we went through the year. Thousands of you signed up for the Domino newsletter. You broke the traffic records for Destination Domino. As you heard, thousands of you signed up to test the prototype twice as we went through it. We got, when we sent out to Valentine last year, we got cheers as we went through it. The momentum that we had just kept growing and building. And that created a lot of fun as we started to go into the year. And these are some of the fun stats. You heard that 3x the industry average of your engagement on Twitter around Domino. The 5,000 people that watched the live cast, 3,000 live, 2,000 of you within a few hours of the recording getting posted. For those of you that were on that webcast, you might remember the comment stream. It was just soaring past. It was almost hard to keep up. But what you could sense from that was just a positive response to the the direction that was being set for Domino version 10. And then I love the cheers. I think right here a lot of applause for this photo. Photobombing Ginny last year at Think. That was, you saw the I Am placards really come out and go around the world again as we went through that. And we went big with the launch, right? So just a couple of those 32 cities, and the countries as we went around and did this. I'll start in China where we had a rollout. As people attended it, we talked about the demos. Louise, I saw down here. Those demos were a hit everywhere. In China, we showed an integration with WeChat, right, the largest messaging platform in China, and got applause and really opened people's eyes to what's going to be possible with Domino version 10. We went on to Japan, and there was a light and drum show. Again, yellow everywhere, 500 people in the audience, and people playing with the Domino mobile apps. I also had a Domino-powered robot in Japan, which was cool to see and hear about. In Europe, we started off in Frankfurt, had the big event, big yellow sign out in front of the building, a yellow welcome carpet as you came up the escalator into the second floor. We had a bunch of dominoes for those of you who were there, and we kind of allowed everybody to place those, on the platform. And then when you knocked them over, you saw Domino forever. And people were watching that live stream in Stockholm as they were gathered to do that. In London, you had people dressed in yellow and having yellow cupcakes. I think there was a great story of somebody with their yellow chickens hatchery that used Domino to scale from 200,000 chickens to 2 million chickens. Just some phenomenal stories, right? We had some great camaraderie in Zurich with the partners as we were there. In Vienna, not only did they have yellow shirts on, but they brought beer with custom yellow Domino labels on it. Now that's a way to celebrate as you go through. In North America, across from the East Coast to the West Coast, you heard the refrain, Domino just works. And one client came up from an insurance company, and they said, Domino just works great. We've been running it at our firm since 1996. In the Middle East, in Dubai, partners got together to watch that live stream. And actually, from the beginning to the end and participate in Yellow Donuts. In Delhi, they got together and they had Mr. Yellow, Matt Newman, to celebrate with in terms of the launch. And so wherever you went, right, yellow biscuits, yellow cupcakes, small cakes, large cakes, the launch was really a celebration. It was a celebration really of what you as a community enabled us to do last year. And you could feel that energy, you could feel that excitement. It was one of the launches. I've had the honor of participating in some really, industry-defining, company-defining launches over my career. And I ranked the Domino version 10 launch right up there as one of the most memorable. And I've told this to the marketing team. I'll tell this to anybody that listens. It really is something that should be a case study of how do you come together and how do you re-energize and reconnect with the community and do some incredible things out there. But Domino isn't all that we do in collaboration. So I want to talk about connections. Because we learned from that Domino experience as we were going through the year, and we said, in connections, we've got to reconnect with the community in the same way. And you saw us really starting to focus on what do you need on connections? What are you looking for? Why don't you direct us on where to go? And the feedback was really simple. It was three things. Focus on user experience, adoption, and simplicity. Right? So we started to do that. We started to get your ideas. We opened up the Connections Idea Lab in August. You've given us 4,000 ideas since then. And we've gotten faster at delivering, getting back to a quarterly cadence on user experience, as well as improving our cycle time on support and reducing the response time, right, when you have questions and issues around connections. But we still need your help as we go forward in that space. So here's our Help Wanted poster and bulletin on connections, right? We got great feedback on CR3. Any feedback is great. We just released CR4 last week, and we're starting to talk about CR5. You'll have Danielle up here talking about CR5 and what's in it. And really the ask here is for you to continue to give us your feedback and help to shape the direction around what we're doing with connections. Domino, connections, partnerships. Talked about that energy, and really it's been a lot of fun. We can talk about whether it's a dream team and a dynamic duo, and Richard and Andrew. Those of you who saw them do the Back to the Future skit with Doc Brown and Marty McFly. Really, that's kind of the energy that really inspired the entire team because of your response to version 10. And so I'd ask you to welcome Richard up here and let him share his perspective on where things are and where they're going.
Which one, Bob? Thanks, Bob. Hey, thank you. Good morning, everyone. First off, I want to say thank you to Bob. Thank you to his team between the marketing, the offer management organization. The partnership between us, as Bob noted, has been about 14 months. We really, really came together, right? And the journey that we set forth started 14, 15 months ago, and the beginning of that journey for us was V10. And so for us, we wanted to commit to all of you and, frankly, our partners and customers, but as well as to us, that we could actually commit to a date, that we could actually deliver what we committed to, and exceed those expectations. And hopefully all of you have seen that with the execution that we were able to achieve on version 10. And for us, I will tell you from a development organization, there were many people in my team who didn't think we could do it, right? The feedback I got was, we haven't done a major release in 5 years. We never did a major release in less than a year. And I will tell you, for me, the key was we reaffirmed to us that we could do it, right? And so to my team that's here, I want to thank you for the commitment and the dedication of executing and delivering a high-quality release on time and exceeding our customers' expectations. Thank you. I also wanted to ask that I want to give an applause to all of you, right? As you saw in the video, as I've seen working with all of you over the last 3 or 4 years, I feel like we have the best community, right? We really do. I was with the Portal community yesterday, not even close. The passion, the dedication of all of you, we could not achieve what we're setting forth with this journey. So I wanted to thank all of you for what you've done, and frankly, I look forward to continuing this success. So, the elephant in the room, I'll talk a little bit about the deal, right? So I think everybody's well aware, we have agreed to contract with IBM where we will be divesting, IBM will be divesting the Notes, Domino, same time, as well as the connections, Portal, Commerce, AppScan, BigFix, and Unica technologies. So from an HCL perspective, we're incredibly excited about the opportunity ahead of us. We believe that there's no other company out there that can provide a true digital solution the way we can when we bring together Portal, Commerce, Connections, same time, Notes, and Domino. It's a bit of a reflection. I think many of those products were together at one time, and it's kind of funny how the cycle comes back. So, for us, we're looking forward to being as aggressive as we possibly can and working through this agreement. And I think everybody's well aware we're in a business as usual moment right now. So we're working very closely with Andrew Manby and the rest of the team on executing, following through on V11, and frankly, moving forward on the journey that we've set forth. So for us, there are 3 major things here that we're going to continue to focus on, and this has been one of the main tenets from an organizational perspective for us with HCL is, first and foremost, we want to engage, right? So you're going to see, and hopefully you saw, a level of transparency from us and an engagement level that you probably hadn't seen in years, right? And that includes engaging you in our development processes, engaging you at factory tours, engaging analysts, and really providing the market coverage that all of you have been asking us for the last year. The next thing is all about execution. So we've already started on V11. I already have engineers coding on V11. We've heard from you loud and clear from the jams, and we feel very, very confident that we have set the pace, and we will deliver on major themes that Andrew's going to be talking about later on today that are going to excite you and frankly, reinvigorate the business for all of us here. The last thing is all about innovation for us, right? So there's a clear balance between actual execution, but continuing to focus forward on that journey for us. And you're starting to see some of those things, and you'll hear about some of them today and tomorrow of the innovation that we've been working on heavily in the lab, which includes new functions and features related to mobile, things around places that some of you have heard about. And so we're going to continue to stay focused on that, and we want to bring you and hear from you as we go about this journey. So maybe in a little bit of a kind of a connections and Domino, we believe that there's plenty of opportunity for us to bring these products together as they had been in the past. We feel confident with what we have set forth from how do we execute today, how do we execute tomorrow, and where are we going in the future. And for us, I think that key is how do we bring these portfolios back together again. And I believe Danielle is going to spend some time on that today. And we feel very confident that what we have set forth in this discussion, we can actually continue to execute upon. So I think finally, one last thing for me that I want to reiterate here that I think is important. I have a little bit of a perspective that the bridge between reality and dreams is really hard work, right? And I want to reassure to all of you that us at HCL are very focused on getting that work done. And so, we plan on setting very lofty goals and achieving those dreams and that vision. And I can assure you that we're going to execute upon that and get the work done that we expect and that you expect from us.